Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today, what I want to do is kind of show off a solo variant that I have been working on. Very simple, don't need any additional cards or anything like that, no additional rules necessarily. One thing that, one kind of keyword that changes what it does, and that's about it that I can think of. But I'm just going to kind of throw this out there. I will also be posting the rules on BGG, so I'll put in a link in the description below to that page. So if you do have serious constructive criticism, please feel free to leave that on BGG. That's probably a better place for it to be stored than in the comment section of this video. But I did want to kind of show off a little bit of how it's managed, how you manage the game, to include a video along with the BGG rules. So what you're going to need is you don't need any of the starting cards for the Empire. And I have been playing all of my testing using the Rebellion side. So at some point I will probably flip-flop and play as the Empire against the Rebellion, but as a Star Wars fanboy, it's just a little too hard not to play as like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. So the only thing you need out of the starting cards for the Empire is their starting base and then 2 other bases. And this is assuming you're going to play to 3 bases. You could play to 5, you could play to 7, you could play to 10, whatever number you want, I think. Actually, I don't know if 10 would work. You might run out of cards. But whichever number of bases you want to play to, pick out Lethal and then pick out 2 other bases at random. Or if you want to make sure the game is slightly easy or slightly harder, you could choose, say, 2 of the 16 health bases to be second, or 2 of the 10 health bases to be second if you wanted an easier game. The text on the cards, the special ability of the bases, it does not matter. So it's purely how much health can that base soak up for the AI. All right, so what you're going to do essentially is play out your turn as normal, but then on the Empire's turn and the AI's turn, any card that's in the galaxy row that is for in this case, the Empire, is going to get to directly attack you. All right. Also, any capital ships that come out into the galaxy row, if they are capital ships that belong to the Empire, they're going to automatically come up and go to the Empire. So I wanted to show off, setup here, because that may make a difference. So we've got Chirrut Imwe here. We have Boba Fett, who is Empire. So I've been kind of just pushing him up a little bit. That helps me keep everything straight. We have a Death Trooper. Not looking good for me. TIE Fighter. All right. We have a Mon Cal Cruiser, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last but not least, we have a TIE Interceptor. Okay, so this is one of the things I've been trying to deal with is, do you allow this to move forward as a setup thing? Because this could happen. I've also had, say, Darth Vader come out very early. He's very difficult to take out at the very beginning. So he basically was like plowing through my bases himself. I've also had tons of capital ships come out on the flop, or whatever you want to call it. And it's been a really long time before I can even touch Lethal. So I'm going to stick with this for right now. So you guys can certainly see how it goes. But at this point, the flop has happened. I also have been starting with this in just a neutral position. So the force is not with either side at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and take my normal turn here. Should be pretty straightforward. I've got 4 Alliance shuttles and a Rebel Trooper here. The Rebel Trooper, unfortunately, it can take out a TIE Fighter. So right off the bat, I can gain an additional 1 for that. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Fortunately, it's not enough to take out this guy here. And so I will purchase Chirrut Imwe for 3. I get to reveal the next card. Now, this is important. Push everything down to the right when you reveal. All right. So there we go. All right. So I purchased Chirrut Imwe. I actually could purchase the Keldor Mystic, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm okay. Chirrut Imwe is going to be getting me that same amount of stuff, so we're not going to be talking strategy here. Now, Another important thing to note is that when you're purchasing, you get to automatically reveal a card. That's part of the rules. But if you take a card out via bounty hunting or sabotage, you're not going to replace that card until after your turn is over. That way you can't just sit here and pick off some of the smaller ones and then continue to pick them off. So we took out the TIE Fighter, but I'm just now replacing it with Dengar here. All right. So that's my turn. Now it is the opposing player's turn. So they're going to go kind of through a two-step process here on their turn. First thing is, do they have any resources to gain? In this case, they don't. All of their characters here are just pure fight characters. But if they had some, or if they had a capital ship that produced resources, we would count up those resources. And what they would target then is, the first thing would be, can they purchase a neutral capital ship from the Galaxy Row? If they can, they will spend their resources on that capital ship, place it up to protect their base, and move on. If not, can they purchase or hire a bounty hunter? In this case, if they had 4, they would hire Dengar. They would then, push Dengar up, and Dengar would be able to use to attack them. Now, they're never going to purchase a neutral card that only offers purchase power, because what I've been playing is that you can only, or the AI is only going to purchase 1 card per turn, and it's only ever going to be a neutral card. So they could, because there is some benefit to them having the Force on their side. For 1, it's not on my side in that case. Or 2, if they have it all the way here, they are going to get that 1 resource, which may give them enough to, say, hire Dengar. If they, just for an example's sake, were to hire Dengar and use him to attack me or my base or whatever, Dengar would then go away. He would be put into the discard pile and be done for the game. But in this case, they don't have any resources to purchase anything with, so they're just straight coming after me. Okay, so after they've done purchasing or hiring bounty hunters or purchasing neutral capital ships, they'll look to attack. The first thing they want to take out is any unique units for me. So in this case, I don't have any unique units, but if, for example, Chirrut Imwe had still been out there, he is a unique unit. He's got this little star next to his name. He is a unique unit that they would then focus on, and as long as they can take out my unique unit, they would focus on him first. So maybe, say, Boba Fett is the only one out here, and Princess Leia is my only unique unit out here. Well, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, Princess Leia takes 6 to defeat. Boba Fett wouldn't be able to defeat her, so his focus would then change to just my base. All right? So they look to see, are there any unique units they can take out and focus on? If not, then they're just basically going to dump everything on the base. In this case, it is plenty enough to take out Dantooine. So Dantooine is gone, and I'm just going to put this over there on their side so I can keep track of what they've got. As far as the effects on their cards, the card text, all that stuff, doesn't matter. I've been ignoring all of that. The only thing I'm looking at here is their stats in the upper left-hand corner. And now they're done because they don't have anybody else to attack. My base does not come out until my turn. So now it is my turn. I get to pick a base here. Let's see here. We're going to do Sullust because there's really nobody out there I want to purchase, although the Mon Cal Cruiser is pretty good. So ironically enough, I'm going to play Mon Cala, and I'm going to use Mon Cala to purchase the Mon Cal Cruiser. It's going to go into my hand. All right. So since I purchased one, this gets refilled, and whew, all right, finally we have some resources for us. So this should be 5, and I'm just going to go ahead and take another one of my turns. So this comes out to protect my base. I have 3 Alliance shuttles. My trooper here. So I'm going to use my trooper along with my TIE Interceptor. Along with my Temple Guardian to take out the TIE Interceptor. That's going to give me 3 additional resources. That combined with these here are gives me 6, so I can purchase this B-Wing. The B-Wing will go into my discard pile. And then last but not least, my Moncall Cruiser here can put 3 damage directly onto their base. It cannot attack the Galaxy Row. So not too bad for as bad a flop as the was up against us. We're not out of it yet. So all right. So in this case here, this is an example where a Empire capital ship comes out. It immediately goes up there and is as if we didn't even draw it. All right, they've got a Death Trooper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have an X-Wing. All right, so let's run through another of the AI's turns. Do they have any purchasing power? They do. They have 2 purchasing power here. So can they purchase anything that will get them something that's not resources? Well, the Keldor Mystic has been a kind of an exception to my normal rule, where normally they're only focused on people that can attack. It's the only thing they can purchase, so they're going to go ahead and purchase, hire the Keldor Mystic to improve their force, 2 to their side, and they're done. They're not going to refill this row. Technically, I would just push that up. He's being used because I certainly don't want to reveal another AI card and then get to use it. All right. Then at this point, we are looking, do they have any, do I have any unique cards out? No, in my faction. So then we're just going to go, that's 8 right there. They are taking out my Moncall Cruiser, and that would be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, whew, man, Boba Fett over here needs to just go away. So Moncall's already halfway through. This goes into my discard pile. I should have, though, my apologies, shuffled this up and drawn already. So this is an example of, how the AI can get really lucky right off the beginning of the game. I've also played games where they hardly have any cards come out, and it's very easy for me to just take out their people who are exposed and go after their base, and so on and so forth. So let me play through one more hand here, and then I'm going to talk about a few more rules, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that I have been playing with or considering. So, all right, let's see if we can't turn the tide here. Who do we got? How do I not have Chirrut Imwe yet? Or is that only my second turn? The opponent must choose. Either they discard 1 card from their hand, or this unit gains 2. So in instances like this, I get to choose. Since it just says the opponent chooses, I get to choose. Now, this is the only keyword that I have essentially changed in the game. And when I get the chance to force them to discard a card, I'm not going to remove a card from the row. Actually, this should have been removed, and this should have been like this. Okay. When I force them to discard a card, I'm just going to kind of stun that card. All right, I'm going to flip it over. It's not going to be active for that turn. So I'm going to take the opportunity here to stun Boba Fett. Instead of this gaining 2, actually, no, wait. I could take out Boba Fett with my B-Wing. So I'm going to stun this Death Trooper. So that is what discarding does, or how I've been playing the discard action. So this guy, and then he's going to go after Boba Fett. Then my Temple Guardian and Rebel Trooper will go after this guy here. And I then have 2 purchasing power. Let's take the Outer Rim Pilot. Strategically, they're both getting me the same thing, but by not buying the Jawa, that's 1 less card that's going to come out, which may be a card in their favor for next time. So actually, no, hold on. I'm getting some stuff here. I'm getting 3, so put him back. I'm getting 3 additional from Boba Fett plus 2, so this goes back to neutral. All right, I'm done with the B-Wing now. And these two guys were able to take out this guy. He gains me 2. 1, 2. All right, and so now I can purchase the X-Wing. I'm going to do that instead, and I'm allowed to reveal 1 card to replace the X-Wing. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to purchase the Blockade Runner. This could be targeted by the opposing player, or the AI, sorry, next turn. So we'll see what he does. All right, so I'm going to run through their final turn here, and then I'm going to talk about a few things. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's Princess Leia. 5, and another Mystic. 6. Okay, let me draw my hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so do they have any purchasing power? Well, yes, they do. They have 2. So they're going to do what they did before. They're going to purchase the Mystic to simply get the Force back into neutral, so I don't have. The Force will not be with me. If they had had 4, they would have purchased the Blockade Runner, but they don't. So, and they don't replace this card yet. Then we look through here. They only have 1 card that could do anything, and I had stunned it, so it's flipped over. So they're actually going to just flip that back over. We're going to replace this card, and that was their turn. The last thing I want to talk about is what I've been doing if I'm able to clear out all of the Empire's cards, capital ships and cards in the Galaxy Row, and by replacing the Galaxy Row, nothing but neutral cards or my cards come out. What I've been doing in that case is, and this is why I've been pushing everything down to the left as I've been bringing out new ones, I basically will discard the leftmost card and draw. If it's an Empire card, we stop. If it's not, I continue to do that. I continue to discard the leftmost card to just keep shifting everything down until an Empire card is exposed. Basically meaning that no matter what, there should always be an Empire card out on the board. All right, they should always have something they can do something with. Now, again, you can negate them being able to do much on their turn by, say, stunning something in the Galaxy Row and them only having purchasing power. There are ways to game the system, but with the randomness of the cards coming out, you would have to have, kind of the stars align and have the perfect Galaxy Row and card of hands for you to completely game the system. But at this point, I'm going to stop the playthrough. I will probably do a full playthrough here once I get everything established on BGG and see if anybody has any really nice suggestions for me. But at this point, you're trying to take out 3 of their bases, and they're trying to take out 3 of mine. I just drew 2 random ones. So if, for example, I defeated Lothal finally, I would just flip this over and Mustafar would now be what I'm targeting. I don't do any of the text on there. Again, as far as the AI is concerned, I'm only concerned about the stats up here in the upper left hand corner. And the only keyword that I have changed is the discard keyword, because there's a fair number of cards in the game, especially on the Rebel side, that force the opponent to discard a card. One thing that I have kind of waffled with and gotten out before, I actually have my dice over here because certain games I was playing with these D12s for health counters, way easier than like keeping 10 little tokens on these. But I have waffled with between, if there's multiple cards in the Galaxy Row, do I choose one at random by, like, say, a die roll, or do I get to always pick? Like, for example, earlier, I left the Death Trooper, I left Jabba Hutt up because I was planning on attacking him, but he could have randomly been the one who I discarded. So that's going to do it for this video. Again, check out the description for a link to my variant file on BGG. It'll just be a printed up list of everything I've gone over here, including a link to this video. So constructive criticism, please send it that way so I can keep it all in one place. And hopefully we can get all the kinks worked out, and this can be a viable solo option for Star Wars the Deck Building game. I really love this game. I think it just works really well. There is definitely some swinginess in how the cards can come out, so there's swinginess in playing solo too. But as you can see, I'm surviving. I'm 1.5 bases in, so the AI is halfway through beating me, but I've got him now to just a Soul Death Trooper and a Gonzati Cruiser. One more good turn, and I've turned the tides of battle, and a good chunk of his cards are already in the discard pile. So, and again, this game plays really fast. So if you have just a bad string of luck on the card draws, just play again. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.